They say that the real journey of life begins when we find our purpose. But what if that moment of clarity didn't come until you were 40? What if everything you've been through so far, the challenges, the doubts, the losses, had been a preparation for the awakening that is finally happening now? Maybe you felt it, a subtle but undeniable change. What once seemed confusing now begins to make sense. There is a growing certainty that you are no longer lost, but on the exact path you should be. The reality around you doesn't seem the same, and your outlook on life has changed dramatically. If you carry the letter M or the crescent moon in your hands, know that this is more than just a sign. You belong to a group of rare souls who have a deep connection with the divine, and now, more than ever, this connection is becoming impossible to ignore. You are being called to something greater, and the time for awakening has come. Until now, you may have felt out of place, misunderstood, or as if you were waiting for a moment that never came. But now, the pieces of the puzzle finally fit together. The universe is in no hurry, but it doesn't delay either. And if you're receiving this message today, it's not by chance. Every experience, every struggle, and every moment of uncertainty has been an essential part of your preparation. At 40, the curtain opens and the truth is revealed. Life isn't ending, it's just beginning, and now with a clarity you've never had before. But what exactly changes at that moment? What happens to those who awaken in this phase of life? Today, we're going to explore every detail of this transformation and understand why this is the most powerful moment of your spiritual journey. If you feel this message resonates with you, type 1111 in the comments. This number is a code of spiritual alignment, and by typing it, you are affirming your connection with this new phase of awakening. As a form of confirmation, a spiritual blessing will be released into your life. And before we go any deeper, subscribe to the channel now to continue receiving messages that strengthen your spiritual journey. What you're about to hear could change your life forever. Now, let's get to the first big revelation of this transformation. For much of your life, you've tried to hold on to everything around you. People, situations, beliefs, old versions of yourself. But at 40, something changes. You realize that true growth doesn't lie in accumulating, but in letting go. In the past, fear of the unknown made you cling to what was familiar, even if it hurt. Toxic relationships, limiting standards, society's expectations, all of this became a weight that prevented you from moving forward. But now, the need to carry what no longer resonates with your soul disappears. Letting go is not loss, it's liberation. When you let go of what no longer has space in your life, you create space for something much bigger to come in. And at 40, you don't just understand this, you feel it. Fear of change gives way to excitement about the new. Suffering that once seemed unbearable is now transformed into learning and empowerment. The key to this transformation lies in your perception. You stop seeing endings as something negative and start seeing them as beginnings in disguise. Every door that closes is now a bridge to a much greater destination. True freedom comes when you stop resisting the flow of life and start trusting the process. If something needs to go, allow it. If something needs to change, accept it. You're not losing anything, you're just returning to your true self. And now, the question remains. What still needs to be left behind so that you can move on to what is truly yours? For much of your life, time seemed like an adversary. You felt the pressure to reach certain milestones, achieve certain goals, and follow a schedule that, deep down, never made sense to you. But now all that has changed. At 40, you realize that time was never something to be controlled or feared. It was always in your favor. From an early age, society made you believe that there was a race to be won. Your 20s were marked by an unbridled quest for acceptance and success. At 30, the anxiety of not having done enough grew. But now, that illusion is shattering before your eyes. You're not behind, you haven't missed anything. Everything happened exactly at the right time. And now, for the first time, you can breathe and trust. Time no longer enslaves you because you understand that everything happens at the perfect time. What was meant to be yours will always find a way. And what didn't come before, didn't come because it wasn't yet aligned with who you were becoming. This understanding brings peace. You stop comparing yourself to others because you understand that each journey is unique. You stop chasing something that is already on its way. And most importantly, you finally start living the present to the full. And here's a sign that you've really woken up to this truth. You feel a deep peace of mind when you realize that everything is exactly where it should be. For much of your life, the question, "What is my purpose?" may have echoed in your mind without an answer. You've tried different paths, searched for meaning in different areas, and however many things you've achieved, you've always felt that something was missing. At 40, this restlessness finally dissolves. For the first time, you look back and realize that all the experiences, challenges, and moments of doubt were part of a grand plan. Nothing was by chance. Every mistake, every fresh start, every choice has shaped you for this very moment. What once seemed fragmented now becomes clear. You understand why certain doors closed and why others opened. Your purpose is no longer hidden. It has always been there, waiting for the right moment to be revealed. And this revelation comes with a powerful force. You realize that everything you've lived through has been training for the mission that now lies before you. There are no more doubts, no more confusion, just the certainty that you are exactly where you should be, ready to fulfill the calling that has always existed within you. If before you sought a purpose outside, now you understand that the true purpose has always been within. And this is the moment when your journey really begins. For much of your life, you may have felt the need to prove something to others. Perhaps you've sought recognition at work, validation in relationships, or even society's approval to feel accepted. But something changes when you reach 40. The opinion of others no longer carries the same weight. You understand that the only approval that really matters is your own. There's no longer any need to fit into patterns that don't represent who you are. You finally feel free to live according to your own values and beliefs, without fear of others' judgment. This freedom comes with a confidence that previously seemed unattainable. You no longer have to explain your choices or justify your feelings. If something makes sense to you, that's enough. If your intuition points you in the right direction, you follow it without hesitation. For those chosen to carry the mark of the crescent moon or the letter M on their hands, this phase becomes even more significant. These marks are signs of a deep spiritual journey. And when you reach this point in your life, you realize that you never needed the world's approval. Your soul always knew where it should go. And this liberation changes everything. You leave behind the need to be understood and embrace the power of simply being. You now walk with confidence, knowing that your authenticity is the greatest gift you can offer the world. Throughout your life, spirituality may have been something that came and went, depending on the circumstances. Perhaps in times of difficulty you searched for answers, but in periods of stability, the connection with the divine took a back seat. However, when you reach 40, something changes profoundly. Your spiritual journey intensifies. It's no longer a question of looking for something external to fill a void, but of recognizing that the truth has always been within you. You begin to realize that everything in life has a purpose, and that the experiences you've been through have actually been lessons to strengthen your soul. The signs of the universe become more evident. Synchronicities happen frequently. Dreams take on deeper meanings, and your intuition becomes stronger than ever. What once seemed like coincidence is now seen as divine guidance. You understand that you are not alone. There is something greater guiding your every step. This realization brings an inner peace that was difficult to achieve before. You stop fighting the flow of life and start trusting the process. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" This awakening is not an endpoint, but a new beginning. At 40, you don't just understand spirituality, you live it. And this completely transforms the way you see the world and your purpose within it. With maturity, you develop a sharper perception of the energy around you. At 40, this intensifies. You become extremely sensitive to the vibrations of people, places, and situations. What was once just a hunch is now clear and unquestionable knowledge. You no longer waste time in environments that drain your energy or with people who don't add to your journey. Your presence becomes magnetic, not because you seek to be noticed, but because your authenticity and inner strength are impossible to ignore. If before you felt out of place in certain social circles, now you understand that this was always a sign that your energy was different. At 40, you no longer have to fit in. You create your own space. People start to feel attracted to you, not because of what you have, but because of what you represent. Your high vibration makes those who seek evolution approach you, while those who live in superficiality may feel uncomfortable. But now you understand that this isn't a problem, it's just the natural consequence of your evolution. Your energy field strengthens, and this allows you to manifest your reality with more clarity and intentionality. You realize that you are not just a spectator of life, you are the creator of your own reality. Over the years, you discover something powerful. Loneliness is not a burden, but a gift. Before, the need to be surrounded by people was almost an automatic reflex, a desire to belong, to be understood. However, when you reach the age of 40, this perspective changes completely. You now realize that moments of solitude are valuable opportunities for introspection, growth, and connection with your essence. The silence that once seemed empty becomes a sacred space for reflection, where you find clarity and answers that you would never have realized in the hustle and bustle of everyday life. You no longer feel the need to fill your schedule with superficial commitments. Instead, you choose to be around people who really add to you, who share your energy and worldview. The connections that remain are deep, meaningful, and full of purpose. At 40, you don't fear being alone because you understand that true companionship comes from within. You strengthen your relationship with yourself and thus build a solid emotional foundation. This inner peace is reflected in everything you do, allowing you to walk through the world without the need to seek external validation. Now, solitude isn't a burden, it's a privilege. For much of your life, you may have molded yourself to meet the expectations of others. Since childhood, there have been standards, demands, and ideas about what it means to be successful. You may have strived to please your family, maintain a relationship that no longer made sense, or follow a career path that didn't resonate with your soul. But when you reach 40, something inside you awakens. It's time to live for yourself. Suddenly, the weight of external expectations becomes irrelevant. You realize that there is no longer any need to fit into molds that were never yours. The fear of displeasing or disappointing gives way to the courage to be authentic. You now allow yourself to follow your deepest desires, seek out experiences that truly bring happiness, and define success based on your own criteria. This doesn't mean selfishness, quite the opposite. It means that by honoring who you really are, you become able to offer the world your best version. Instead of spending your energy trying to live up to what others expect, you channel that energy into what makes you evolve. Life at 40 is not about regrets or doubts, but about reclaiming your freedom and living with purpose. You're no longer stuck in the past or anxious about the future. Now, you live the present to the full, knowing that every choice is yours and that your destiny is finally in your hands. At the age of 40, something extraordinary happens inside you. Your true power awakens. It's no longer about chasing the acceptance of others, nor about fitting into other people's expectations. Now you understand that you've always had everything you needed inside you. This power is not just emotional or mental, but also energetic and spiritual. You feel the difference when you enter an environment. People react to your presence differently. Some are naturally attracted to your energy, while others move away, annoyed by the light you carry. This is because you are no longer vibrating on the frequency of doubt and insecurity. You are vibrating in authenticity, strength, and certainty. Now, every thought and intention you project has a direct impact on your reality. You realize that your life is no longer governed by chance, but by your own vibration. Everything you desire with clarity and conviction begins to happen at an accelerated rate. Opportunities arise, the right connections appear, paths open up effortlessly. But this power comes with a responsibility. You have to use it consciously. What you focus on grows. What you believe manifests. What you feel you attract. The universe responds to your energy. And now you understand this like never before. Turning 40 is not the end of anything. On the contrary, it's the beginning of the most powerful phase of your existence. Everything you've been through, the pain, the losses, the doubts, the challenges, has served to shape you, strengthen you, and prepare you to live in full awareness of your purpose. Now, you understand that you no longer have to strive to fit into patterns that were never yours. You are no longer here to please others or to live up to external expectations. This is the moment when you break free, take on your true essence, and start living authentically and intentionally. Your connection with the universe and with your own spirituality has been strengthened. You perceive the signs, understand the synchronicities, and feel that everything around you responds to your energy. You are no longer a spectator of life, you are a creator of your own reality. Time no longer controls you. Outside opinions don't shake you, and obstacles that once seemed impossible are now just stepping stones in your evolution. The next few years will be unlike anything you've ever experienced. You'll realize that happiness doesn't lie in achieving something external, but in living in line with who you really are. This will bring a peace that previously seemed unattainable. Now, the choice is yours. You can continue to ignore this call or you can fully embrace it and allow your transformation to happen in a natural and great way. If this message has touched your heart and you feel you are ready for this new phase, type in the comments, "I accept my journey," and declare to the universe that you are ready to live your purpose to the full. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue receiving messages that will strengthen your journey. You're already on the right path. Now all you have to do is move forward with confidence. Your awakening has already begun, and the best is yet to come.